Good evening, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting of the Mayor and Council in the Borough of Fanwood. Today is Monday, September 17th, 2018. We'll start the meeting with the Open Public Meetings Act. I hereby announce and request that such be included in the minutes of this meeting, that notice of the time, date, and place of this meeting has been prominently posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall, mailed to the Scotch Plains Fanwood Time, the Courier News, the Patch, the Alternative Press by January 10th, 2018, filed with the Borough Clerk and mailed to any such person according to that request. May I now, for those that are here, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask that you stay standing for a moment of silence, and as September is Suicide Prevention Month, that we would ask that you keep all of those that are in pain in your thoughts. Thank you. Mrs. McGovern, will you please start us off with the roll call?
Anthony Cotter. Russell Hugo.
Present.
John Kranz.
Here.
Erin McElroy-Walker.
Here.
Catherine Mitchell.
Here.
Jack Palmer.
Here.
Dan Moore.
Here. As we do in the beginning of each of the meetings, before we get to our regular scheduled business, we will go over to the podium where we have several resolutions, proclamations, and presentations. And tonight, as I asked you to keep in your thought, September is a very special month because we're going to draw attention to and discuss suicide prevention. So, for those of you that have never joined us here, what we do in the beginning of each of our meetings is that we look into the community to bring a little attention to a volunteer. And we call it our volunteer recognition or volunteer award of the month. And tonight, we don't necessarily have one person, but we actually have an organization, in keeping with what I think is a very important conversation that we, as a governing body and a community, need to have with what is going on nationally in our own community, and that is about those in pain that end up taking their lives through suicide. So I would like to call up Janet Sanko? Sarkos. So as Janet makes her way here, Janet is representing Caring Contact. And Caring Contact is an award-winning volunteer staff, caring, and crisis hotline, and they basically listen. And they provide active listening support in central and northern New Jersey. They are a resource for people who are going through difficult times. They are there, and if someone is looking for someone to talk to or for someone that they think cares. And they deal with depression, anxiety, stress, and suicidal thoughts. And all of them are volunteers. And they are volunteer trained to provide a very non-judgmental and supportive ear. So that is why they are here tonight. They are here as our volunteer of the month. Because they do really the Lord and angels work. And I would like for you to be able to just talk a little bit about Caring Contact, what you do here in our community, and then we have something for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor, and to the Town Council for having us. We truly appreciate it. I think you did a great job of saying who we are. We're a volunteer organization. We've been in this community for 43 years. I know that in the past, we've had an office in Fanwood, we've had an office in Scotch Plains, we are currently located in Westfield, but we answer the phone for people who call all over northern New Jersey, 5 counties, 3 million inhabitants. last year. In fact, we answered over 10,000 calls on the hotline. So we have people there every day, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., and we really are there just to listen. We are absolutely aware that one phone call will not fix anybody's problems. We're not here to solve things, but we also know that spending time with somebody, listening non-judgmentally to what they have to say is so vitally important. It's healing. There is so much research and evidence to say that if you can be heard, understood, and not judged, it can be incredibly healing. So that's what we do. I can go on and on about that, but I think that tonight it's really all about the volunteers. We are being recognized for being a volunteer organization. I'm the executive director there, I work there, but the thing that I'm most proud of is that I volunteer also. I answer the hotline, and I look around at this group of people. We have about 100 people who answer the hotline for us, and I am every day reminded of the time and the energy they have to spend to be there. It takes about 6 months to learn how to be a listener on the hotline. It's almost all people in our immediate community who do this work. They're amazing, and they give so much time, so much effort, and I'm overwhelmed and blown away by the volunteers. I cannot say enough about this group of people. I invited Nancy Parenti to come with me today. She's a Fanwood resident. And I'm going to ask Nancy to speak for a minute because she's really, I think she can say a lot about this volunteer experience. Nancy has been a volunteer with us for a little over 5 years, I believe, and has put in over 500 hours on the hotline. She has a full-time job. She has a family, and she takes time out and she listens on the hotline. So she's amazing, and even does so much more for us as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Nancy just for a minute. Thank you again so much. I appreciate it.
Hello, thank you. I am so happy that Caring Contact is being recognized tonight. As mentioned, I've been a volunteer for over 5 years. I am on the crisis line as a listener, and I've been trained in suicide first aid and prevention. With this being September National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, we need to prompt conversations. We need, as a community, to become educated about suicide prevention. Caring Contact is the place to do both. Tonight, we have cards with us with the National Suicide Prevention number on it, as well as the local Caring Contact number. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to get those numbers up on the screen for those of you at home. So I'm going to ask you to do 3 things with these cards. If you please take one. First, I want you to save the card. Put the number in your cell phone, better yet, so you'll have it, because you never know when you may need it. Second, share the number with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people maybe that you even don't like. Share it, because these numbers are made to be used, or these numbers are to be used. You never know when you're going to need it. And lastly, to take action, to get informed, and to be involved. Caring Contact is a great organization, and we're fortunate enough to have them locally. So please use their resources, connect with them, reach out to them, donate your time, your expertise, your voice, and of course, maybe financially, your money. You never know when you may be the next one to help save a life. And I thank Mayor Marr and the entire Fanwood Council for recognizing this outstanding organization and for helping to spread light in this darkness. Thank you.
So this is what we give out each month to our volunteers. And this is a picture of our historic train station. And it has come to symbolize Fanwood. And when people think of Fanwood, they know us by our train station. And they also know us that this is sort of a gem within our community. So we give this to you because you are a gem in our community. And the work and the words, in an age where we don't speak as much as we should be, your words are literally saving people's lives. So we want to give this to you, and may you hang it in your office.
We certainly will.
And know that your friends and family here in Fanwood really appreciate and really thank God that you're here.
Thank you.
Please give them a nice round of applause. One more Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So if you want to leave some of the cards or pass them out to the audience here, I would ask everybody to please take it. Suicide Awareness Month is now an annual campaign in the United States. And its mission is to inform and engage the general public and health professionals about suicide prevention and the warning signs. And as we heard, that we each can help in our own way. And it is when we come together, whether we be survivors, whether we be allies, whether we be organizations, or whether we be individuals, that we can be one, and that is the national sort of tagline for this: be the one. Be the one that steps up. Be the one that when there is darkness, you can be the light. And we're very lucky to live in such a nice community of Fanwood and Scotch Plains. And out of knowing that we can always do better, we have had organizations that feel that we can do better. And one of those organizations that has recently been created is Scotch Plains Fanwood Parents United. And it is a grassroots organization that sees in the age of bullying and sees in the age of where words can hurt and people can get hurt or die by words, that we can do better. And so because of they saw that we can do more as a community, that has led us down a path where we will be hosting a special event, conversation coming up in October, based on a sweet child named Mallory. So what I'd like to do is I would like to call up Scotch Plains Fanwood Parents United, who I believe is represented here by both Anthony Fiore and Jeff Walskett, if you would come up. And I would also like to call up Mallory's mom. So I'm going to turn it over to you to talk a little bit about how we got here tonight,
Great.
what you're doing,
Okay.
and then the event that's coming.
Excellent.
And then we'll turn.
So I did prepare a little speech. Thank you guys for having us tonight. So first of all, my name is Anthony Fiore. I'm a member of SPF Parents United. I'm proud to be a part of bringing Diane and Mallory's Army into our community. Mallory's Army is really leading the fight against bullying, spreading the message of kindness, and helping parents learn how to combat bullying and stand up and fight for their children. Bringing Mallory's Army here was not an easy job. I was fortunate enough to have Jeff reach out to me to discuss a parent group that he had recently created. That parent group was formed last spring over the shared goal of collaborating with our schools and community to create a physically and mentally safe environment for all of our children. We're a diverse group, non-political, volunteer group of parents from the community with kids in the school system. To date, we've had several parent meetings. We've attended school board meetings. We've met with local representatives. We've sent letters to the BOE advocating for school safety, mental health support, and we will be hosting Diane and Mallory's Army at our sold-out event on October 2nd at All Saints Church in Scotch Plains. So if you're interested in learning more about our parent group, you can contact us at spfunited@gmail.com. And really that's it. But we're just starting out, and we're trying to do some great things for the community.
You are.
Thanks.
You are. So, and if people are watching us at home or here in the audience, how can they find you to get involved?
You can find us on Facebook.
So please step closer to the mic.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
can hear you.
You can find us on Facebook. If you search SPF United, you can join our parent group. And also, like I said, spfunited@gmail.com. That's the best way to get us.
So thank you. So Diane. So I met Diane tonight, but I felt like I know Diane. And as a mother, I want to tell you how unbelievably strong you are, but that you created an army, and we're part of that army.
Thank you.
So, Mallory's Army. So as we know, September is National Suicide Prevention Month. And part of what we're here today is to highlight suicide prevention efforts by advocating for prevention strategies and networking. And child suicides are on the rise. And one of the risk factors that increase the likelihood of a young person will consider an attempt to take his or her own life is being a victim of bullying. And whereas Mallory's Army is a nonprofit organization formed by Diane and Seth Grossman after losing their beloved 12-year-old daughter, Mallory Rose, a young, gifted, talented child who was subjected to bullying in school by her fellow classmates and took her own life in 2017. And Mallory's Army was then created by her mother and father. It's a volunteer organization asking why, raising awareness about bullying, especially in schools, in response to their own tragic event. So we bring you here tonight to tell you that we stand with you, that we support you, and that we will fall in line behind you and be a part of Mallory's Army.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm so grateful to Mayor and the Town Council, because it really does take leadership to create a recipe for success. You cannot go to the store and buy a bag of flour and come home with a cake. So Mallory's Army is just one ingredient in your recipe for success in ending what has become an epidemic for our children. See, unfortunately, suicide is the leading cause of death for children ages 10 to 24. While suicide is on the rise for children, it's directly related to bullying and cyberbullying. You can't escape it. This is no longer a society of sticks and stones, which is why our logo has a Mallory's Army bracelet on it with a rock. We don't live in a sticks and stones world any longer. We live in a world where your words matter. My daughter Mallory is an example of an everyday child that was a gymnast, comes from a good family, traditional family, mother and father were just as vanilla and boring as you could possibly imagine, until I got the fateful call one day that my daughter hurt herself. When Mallory hurt herself, I said to my husband, we'll take her to the emergency room. I'm thinking she cut herself with a knife or she fell. No, my daughter, after being subjected to bullying at school for more than 9 months, decided to harm herself. See, Mallory's first attempt was her last attempt. It's about us coming together as a community and recognizing that this is something that we should be really excited about. The leading cause of death for our children, we can cure. Unlike cancer and heart disease and car accidents, those are simple luck of the draw. But bullying and behavior management, we can cure that. So I have the honor of having a beautiful tragedy and hopefully turning it into something that's amazing. The event that you hopefully will be able to attend does 3 things. We empower children. If we want children to be our future thought leaders, we've got to teach them how to be that. So we empower children to be really great philanthropic people, humanitarians. Parents, you've got to get self-educated. It's too late once something happens. You need to know the laws and you need to know what's going on. So we hopefully are a part of that self-education and enrichment for schools. It is time for schools to recognize that they need a village to help with schools and the issues that they face. So Mallory's Army, you can reach us at www.mallorysarmy.org or you can email us at info@mallorysarmy.org. You can follow our story on Facebook as well as come to the events. We share our story and hopefully inspire children, parents, and everyone of all walks of life.
So we smile, right, because we know that there's hope. And we know that there is a future as long as we can talk about it openly. And that is why, for me and the governing body, it was really important to seize what this September is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to take Diane's words about our kids, right, and the future of our kids, and how they can be thought leaders, and how they can be advocates, it really warms my heart to share with you what the future leaders of Fanwood are doing. So I'd like to call up Dante Castronova. You're gonna have to come over here because they can't see you. You're gonna have to come over here because they can't see you. Is Olivia here? Olivia Haley. And Ian. So this is 3 Fanwood second graders who attend Old Brunner, right? Attend Old Brunner? Yeah, it's a good school. Brunner School. And they had an idea to operate a lemon stand as a fundraiser for a not-for-profit. So over the summer, they raised over $1,800. In 2017, they started, and they raised over $800 for Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside. And as we know, because it's right in our backyard, that's a facility that helps children with special health care needs. But that just wasn't enough. That just wasn't going to be just a one-and-done scenario here. They decided this past summer in 2018 that they were going to help Valley Brook Village Community, which is a community that helps homeless veterans. And from their lemonade stand in front of their house on North Avenue, where I actually came and gave some money and hung out and drank some yummy lemonade, they raised $1,266 for the homeless veterans and distributed a portion of the funds backed by Fanwood businesses and Scotch Plains businesses to support veterans. So I want you to give them a nice round of applause. Because this is the example for us and for other children of what selfless dedication is and what helping others looks like. So today, for each of you, I'm going to proclaim September 17th to be Dante Castronova Day in Fanwood. I am going to proclaim that today is also going to be Olivia Haley Day in Fanwood. And not to be outdone, Ian, today I am going to nominate and proclaim that today is Ian, is it Welshoff? Weitshoff Day in the borough of Fanwood. And from here, we are going to say publicly to say thank you.
Thank you.
And let's thank them. So, I have for you a couple things here, because you're so sweet and nice. So Dante, this is the key to family, and this is your proclamation.
You guys stand next to each other. So we can
Okay,
see
sorry.
it.
So, Olivia, this is your proclamation, and this is your key to the city. And Ian, I want to thank you. This is your key to the city, and this is your proclamation. Thank you very much.
Mayor,
Yes.
can I just say something?
Sure, come on. Oh, yes,
From the
absolutely.
residents of Valley Brook,
Yes, he was the recipient of the funds and how it's distributed, what they did. Yes, please introduce yourself. Yes.
My name's Steve Hackenberg, and I'm the executive director at the Friends of Valley Brook. Valley Brook Village, we have 64 previously homeless veterans. What these kids did today or over the summer was just amazing. We have collection jars all over Scotch Plains and Fanwood, actually all over the place. Every dollar that these kids collected went back into local businesses right here in Scotch Plains and Fanwood. We purchased their goods and services. Every pizzeria in town feeds us. Ice cream parlor, Rocco's Ice Cream. I can't tell you. My guys get haircuts, shaves, all kinds of goods and services, ice cream, pizza. We get trays and trays of catered food. Our money comes in $1 at a time. So when we see $1,265 come in, we were just overwhelmed. And we just came to say thank you. We're so touched by your kindness and your generosity, you guys. We're just overwhelmed. But I came to ask two more things from you now. I hate to do this to you. At Christmas every year, I have friends of mine from all over the world, guys that are active duty people that are deployed all over, and friends from bases all over the country, and just friends that have nothing to do with the military. They make Christmas cards, decorations, and ornaments for my friends. The fact of the matter is we end up with thousands of them. My wife and I just sit there and read them to each other at night before we take them and distribute them because they're amazing. We only accept them from preschoolers and elementary school kids because they write the absolute best stuff. My guys, to this day, I'll walk in somebody's apartment and they'll have on their refrigerator, on their coffee table, one of these Christmas cards. They're just, I can't even tell you how amazing they are. So I'm going to ask you guys when you go back to Brunner, and I'll come visit you at Brunner because I'm going to talk to your principal as well. But I'd like you guys to make us some Christmas cards, decorations, and ornaments. Anybody else out there in Scotch Plains and Fanwood? Youth organizations only. We'd love it. And I'm going to ask one other thing. Your demonstration of generosity and kindness kind of reminded an old man here just how beautiful you guys are. The other thing I'm going to ask you is, this is kind of what Friends of Valley Brook is about. It's not about giving stuff to my friends. It's sort of about doing stuff with them. So I'd like you guys to come up so my friends could say thank you. I'm buying the pizza. Actually, you guys want the pizza. But we'd very much like you guys to come up. Friends of Valley Brook isn't about giving stuff to people. There's a couple people here who work with our organization, and they know it's about doing stuff with them. There's people here in town who their sons come up and walk our dogs. It's overwhelming. This community has embraced us. Scotch Plains and Fanwood. I grew up here. I raised my kids here. I know who you guys are. There's a sense of community here. I live in Basking Ridge, wonderful community. It's a wonderful place. They just don't have that same sense of community that we have here. And you guys have embraced us in ways that I can't even tell you. We're just so touched by this. So I'd like to see you guys come up anytime. You guys schedule when, and we'll make it happen, all right? Yes. Thank you again so very much. And thank you.
So we have one more nice public acknowledgement. Before then you can all go and we'll get down to like the nitty-gritty business. And I'm glad actually that there's a really nice group here, right, Tom Krantz? I'm glad that there's, for what we're going to do, a really nice group here. So I would like to call forward Grace and Bob Crothers. So as they make their way to the podium, at the spry age of 92. They have been living in Fanwood, how long now?
54, since 54.
Since 1954. Come on over here. So, over here. So we're here to publicly say happy 70th anniversary. Come on! All right, now listen. So, on the count of three, can we just say happy anniversary to Bob and Grace? Can we do that? 1, 2, 3. Happy anniversary, Bob and Grace. So, Bob and Grace are celebrating their 70th anniversary, and they are dedicated volunteers here in the borough of Fanwood. Fanwood Rescue Squad, 60 years of volunteer. Let that resonate. 60 years of an active volunteer of the Fanwood Rescue Squad. The Knights of Columbus,
Yeah,
60 years.
more than that.
More than that. And Grace, his faithful companion, leading the way, guiding him. And we've thought that it was really important that as a community that we recognize Grace and Bob's devotion to our community, but their devotion to each other, and help them as residents of Fanwood, and wish them so many more years of love, of good health.
I hope so.
We hope so too. So therefore today, the mayor and the council proclaim, you have to make a little room, today also, as September 17th to be Grace and Bob Carruthers Day in the borough of Fanwood, to mark this important event with a lifetime of precious moments. And we're glad to know you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank the council and mayor for this honor. Very unexpected. I've known Grace since she was 6 years old, when their family moved in next to ours. And we sort of grew up together. We had a great neighborhood, and there was a group of us, similar ages. We all hung out together, went to school together, went to dances. And during the school year, we'd go to one of our homes. We would all do our homework together. And afterwards, we'd put on a couple of records, and maybe Lindy to Benny Goodman, or Sarge to dance to Goodman. And it was a great life. As I say, I don't know how we got to be this old, but I thank the Lord for giving them both good genes and for the help of many good doctors. And as I say, it's been a wonderful marriage. We've had our ups and downs like everybody else, but I had a system. When things got too hot, I'd disappear to my workshop, and I got a lot of projects done.
Thank you. The secret recipe.
So I thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. We want to thank everybody for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, we want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Moving on, I'd like to have a motion to move the communications as noted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we will go under our standing committee reports, and that I'll ask Councilman Krantz to update us what's been going on.
Thank you, Mayor. There are only two things in my report. Thing number one is that Bob and Grace Carruthers are good friends here, and I would just like to invite them And thing number two is that I want to give a shout out to my wife, Marianne Kranz, who just surpassed her 1,000th hour as a contact volunteer.
Oh, nice.
The only other business I have is coming up in our resolution, so I will end my report there.
Thank you. Under Public Safety, Councilman Carter.
Yes, good evening. From our Fanwood Police Department, our monthly report for August 2018. Total calls for police assistance through our CAD system, 922. Total calls for police assistance through our 911 terminal, 17. Motor vehicle stops for various violations, 387. Total summonses issued, 385. Motor vehicle moving violation summonses, 116. Non-moving violations, 204. Parking summonses, 65. DWI, 0. Total adult arrest, 8. 7 arrests on warrants, 1 arrest for disorderly person. There were no juvenile arrests, thankfully. Total crimes reported, 17. Thefts and larceny, 1. Simple assault, there was 1. Harassment, 3. Forgery, 1. Fraud, 6. Disorderly person, 3. 2 burglaries. And that concludes our report from our Fanwood Police Department for the month of August 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Council President Molinar.
Public Works for the month. I have a quick report on Public Works. If you're ever wondering who sweeps up downtown, that would be our Public Works Department. They also water all the plants in the downtown and in the plaza. So if you like the plants, thank our Public Works. They're the ones out there watering. We also do street sweeping because we have a shared service agreement with Garwood. So we also, our men do some work over in Garwood as well. They were out there just recently doing their annual striping of all crosswalks, stop bars, and intersection striping for all the borough streets and parking lots. So that's another thing they do. And they also help to prepare the downtown for Fanwood Day. So those are some of the things that Public Works does, plus there's a whole list here. And so far, the recycling tonnage for the year is 477 tons. And it has increased by 32.25 tons based on the amount reported at the same time last year. So the amount of recycling Fanwood is doing is more. So this is 2 years into this.
Yeah.
So it's only
exactly 2 years now.
It's been 2 years. Yes, we started in September 2 years ago. Wow. So we've
So we're up 30% over last year?
no, just 32 tons.
Oh, 32 tons.
Based on the amount reported at the same time last year. So I could figure out the percentage in a minute, but I just didn't do the percentage on that one. About 10%? 10%?
I think it's almost doubled or over since you started.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's gone up, yeah.
Almost triple.
Right, so this is a great achievement, so thank you all from Fanwood for recycling. And that's one other thing, since we're all looking at anniversaries, I want to wish my dad a happy birthday. He's 87 today.
Councilman Ugel.
Okay, thank you. Attended the Historic Preservation Commission meeting last Thursday. They got a full program lined up. October, they're going to open the museum for the 4th Century Walk, which I believe, I hope I wrote that correctly, October 20th and 21st for the 4th Century program and walk. November, it will be full steam ahead for the photo swap. They have all the equipment in, and the museum will be open for the photo swap. This is where you can bring in old photographs of Fanwood. You can have them digitized, and that way you can trade or swap photos for ones that you like. And then, of course, in December, they'll be open for the holiday tree lighting celebration. The other thing was Joe Nagy, our borough historian, brought in a 1954 annual report from Fanwood, and the amount of the taxes collected in 1954 for the borough of Fanwood was $439,000. So I thought that was
What year?
1954.
The year that the Crothers moved here.
Yes. So it kind of all comes together. So that's my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Martha McElroy-Barker.
Okay, so recreation met at the end of August. A couple things happening. The fence reinstallation is complete at Forest Road. and I actually got some good news from a DPW employee yesterday that the fence is hopefully going to last a bit longer now because the fence is on the inside of the poles, not the outside of the poles, which means they can't ride the poles anymore, which hopefully means the fence will last longer and it's also sturdier. So God willing, this fence will last. So the fence is done. There's some reconsideration of some of the equipment being considered for Forest Road Park. Pickleball has been floated out there as an option, which is like really fun. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. If you don't know pickleball, Google it. It's kind of fun. There was some concern and discussion at the last meeting about some declining attendance at the last 1 or 2 Halloween parades. So the commission is talking about what we might want to do about that to kind of beef that up. So we're meeting again this week. I'm sure that'll be a topic for discussion. Also, there are new stalls planned to go into both bathrooms in both parks, so that'll be nice because it's desperately needed. And last but not least, the Fanwood 5K is scheduled for October 21st in the morning. We're returning to Sunday mornings. So for all of you who took the afternoon off last year, you are back on and we hope to see you there. It's superhero, so please feel free to wear a costume. And obviously the children's run is first. So you can check that out. There's a link on the Fanwood Recreation site and it has its own site. And if you sign up ahead of time, you are guaranteed to have a t-shirt that day as well. So that's coming up and that'll be a lot of fun as usual. I think that's it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mitchell?
Thank you, Mayor. The library is in the middle of collecting books right at the moment for their book sale next week. You still have 1 day to get books over there, which is tomorrow. So if you still have some of those books on your shelves that you're looking to get rid of, to recycle, send them over, go over to the Forest Road Park is where they're collecting the books, and that's where the sale will be next Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They are still waiting for the application to apply for the grant from the library reconstruction bond that was passed last year. We've been told that it's coming out in the fall, and fall I think is a couple of days away. So hopefully it will be soon and we will be able to apply for funds so that we know in what direction we're going in with the library. The Environmental Commission had an edible plant walk here last Saturday, and it was run by someone from the Nestor Gardener's Guide, and they just went through the lawn here at Barrel Hall and over to Carriage House Park, and they pointed out plants that were edible, so if you're ever stuck in the forest, you'll know how to feed yourself. Yes. Shade Tree Commission did not meet in August. Now, Russ, pay attention here, please. Okay, okay. The ministerium met last week, and the general talk was on the crop walk, and it will be October 14th.
Okay.
Okay. So you can give me your money tonight, or at the.
I'll give you my money tonight.
At the next meeting, and if you don't want to listen to me, Jim will be here, I'm sure.
Is this a stick-up?
So it's just, if you want to, and I expect money from all of you. So a warning. Seniors had their anniversary dinner last Friday at the Westfoot. They are celebrating 48 years as a senior club.
Wow.
Yeah. And the Performing Arts Series, which is all in here. This month, they are, on October 13th, they are featuring Evan Levine. Evan Levine graduated from Fanwood Scotch Plains High School, and when he was a senior, he performed here at our performance series. And he just finished graduating from Overland College, and he will be back. So he started here, and I guess he's going to start his full-time career here. So that will be on, we'll be glad to welcome him back on October 13th. And And I think that's it. Oh, the rescue squad. They have some exciting things going on there. They had a seminar, or a class last week, I think it was, 2 weeks ago, on the use of the EpiPen and Narcan. Apparently, the rules have changed for local EMSs to be able to administer these two medications under a doctor's guidance, and that will be a doctor out of the emergency room at Overlook. So they have to be certified. And I think you were there, Tom?
Yes.
Okay, you want to speak to that at all?
Just real quick, we've always been able to help private individuals with giving themselves their own EpiPens. These courses allow us to actually carry EpiPens on the ambulances, and it allows us to administer Narcan and carry it on the ambulance. Right now, our police officers carry Narcan, and they're actually the ones who have administered it half a dozen or more times in the last couple of years here, because they get to our calls in a minute or 2 minutes. So if 90% of the squad takes this class, we will then be able to carry it on their ambulances. That's the fact, Jack.
I think they expect to have a contract with our Fanwood pharmacy right here in town, so that will be good. And they are having another in-service, I think next week.
Next week, right.
On
CPAP and spinal immobilization. The cliche of people being boarded and collared after accidents, that's slowly going away across the nation. It's turning out that in many or most cases, putting people on a backboard actually does more harm than good. It only took us 30 years to figure that out. And to go with that protocol, you have to take yet another course on how to actually mobilize people. So that's what we do in EMS, we take courses.
So they had invited me, thankfully, for the administration of the EpiPen and the Narcan, but I didn't get the notice soon enough. However, being a nurse, I wouldn't have any problem with that. But I do plan to, they invited me to attend the lesson next, so I will go to see what's new in whatever Tom just said.
CPAP.
and spinal cords, because it's been a long time since I've worked, and things change.
Yes, they do.
So, and you have to keep up to date. And that is my report.
Okay. Just a couple notes for those watching at home. If you live in Fanwood and are not registered to vote and would like to cast your vote in these upcoming, what is being referred to as the midterm elections, you have until October 16th to register to vote, to be able to vote in the general election, and we ask that you do that. And for any of the seniors that are home watching us, to remind you that we have a handyman program here in town. You have to be income eligible, and all you have to do is call Town Hall and speak to Mrs. McGovern, and we can be there to help you repair windows, repair screens, shelving, installing fixtures or light switches, help with moving heavy objects, installing smoke detectors, or your carbon monoxide needs changing the batteries, minor painting or electrical. So if you know a senior that lives in town, or you are a senior and you need a little handyman help, we're here to help you with that. And I also will just give a nice shout out to Councilman Tom Krantz, who is going to be recognized by the Boy Scouts of America in the Scotch Plains Fanwood Good Scout Award, coming up on Tuesday, October 9th at Shackamaxon. Very nice. And Tom will be getting an award for all the good work that he does here in the borough of Fanwood, and we're very proud of him. With that, I'd like to have the presentation of claims, please.
Yes, Mayor. I also will have the tax collector's report, which I forgot. First, payment of claims. Be it resolved that claims in the amount of $2,046,696.32, having been listed on the bill list and recorded in the files of the Borough Hall and approved by the chairman of the appropriate committee, be paid.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd also like to move the tax collector's report. Our monthly collections for the month of August were $7,660,810.01 for a cumulative total this year so far of $24,185,140.49.
Okay, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. No auditing of claims by resolution. I'd like to have a motion to open the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to call forward any members of the public that are here that wish to, either something on tonight's agenda or just would like to, we'll open the general.
Michael Lewis, 41 Beach Avenue in Fanwood. Just to put in a quick plug, the Fanwood Board of Health, in conjunction with the Westfield Regional Board of Health, has a survey to assess community health needs on the Fanwood website, www.fanwoodnj.org. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes to complete. The idea is to get a better handle on what, from a community health standpoint, is on the minds of Fanwood residents, in the hopes of making Fanwood a more vibrant and healthy, happy community. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes to complete. I'd ask anybody out there really to take a moment to take a look at it and try to get it completed. It'll be on there to the end of September. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to come up at this point? Seeing that there isn't anyone, have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's no old business, there's nothing on the consent agenda. We will go into our new business. Councilman Krantz?
Thanks, Mayor. I move Resolution 1809-155. This authorizes a refund of a tax overpayment to the party at 42 North Martina.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Tom Cruise,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes, to return to money.
Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'd like to move Resolution 1809-156, which authorizes a payment of a court judgment in the affairs of 31 South Martina.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Tom Cruise,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes, to return to money.
Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I move Resolution 1809-157. This authorizes just under $5,000 for the purchase of 3 recycling stations through the Union County Recycling Grant Program.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tom Cruise,
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes.
Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I move Resolution 1809-158, which authorizes an increase in our contract with T&M for the preparation of a parking map.
Second.
Roll call, please. We done with that part of it?
It's just about
I can never find a space. The
We'll have
map.
a map soon.
Now I'll have a map.
Can you
so I
draw
can
in some
find-
more spaces, please, for God's sake?
I have a second. May I have a roll call, please?
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes.
Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I move Resolution 1809-159, authorizing payment for invoices received from T&M for the 3rd round of our affordable housing plan services.
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes.
Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I move Resolution 1809-160. This awards a contract to a consultant named Sean Boyce for the compilation and analysis and evaluation of our local property taxes. We talked about this briefly at the agenda meeting. This is basically a contract for about $5,000 that will pay this gentleman to analyze essentially why our school board gets more money from us than any other local school board gets from their taxpayers.
Second.
Roll call.
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes.
Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
No.
Motion carried.
I move Resolution 1809-161, which is for Union County Recycling Enhancement Grant.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Leslie Hugo.
Yes.
Aaron McIntyre Walker.
Yes.
Jeff Wallenhour.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And Tony is, our borough engineer is here. Maybe you can just give us a quick update on Madison Avenue and North Avenue, since I think those are the two.
So, things are moving finally in a visible way. So we met with a contractor this morning to have a walkthrough on Madison Avenue, to talk about landscaping and other construction items. Unfortunately, I can't be on the job site from here on out because it's a federal job, and the way the stipulations are with the grant, I can't inspect the work that we designed. The same company can't inspect the work they designed. So, Negley, the other company that the borough hired, will be inspecting the project. But I will have my fingers on the pulse just to make sure things are moving and we know exactly what's going on, and there's communication between the borough and the construction team.
Who does that person report to? Somebody in Washington?
No, what do you mean?
The inspector for Madison Avenue.
They were hired by us, and they were from Negley.
Negley Engineering reports to Clint as the responsible charge.
To Clint?
Clint is the responsible charge for this whole project.
Okay.
So he needs to be, Clint needs to be a part of every piece of this
Okay, I got you.
project.
So we can certainly find out day to day what's going on.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
And he understands.
Yes, he's on board. We all took the classes, and we're moving. So the construction is scheduled to start next week. We have some weather coming in the next day or so, so hopefully it doesn't move anything back, but I'm pretty confident we will be starting next week. The residents will be getting noticed.
They got it, did they get that? They got our letter, so they're now just going to get the contractor's letter?
Yeah,
Okay.
the letter was reminded again today. They need to get that letter out this week, so that.
Oh, yeah, I thought that should have gone out.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're getting it out. Additionally, the Chief Trigo is talking to the schools to make sure the school relates, passes along word to all the parents that use Madison Avenue for a drop-off. So we're hoping that all coordination is happening, and we make this as smooth a project as possible.
And then North Avenue?
So North Avenue, I went out today to mark out the limits of construction for at least the handicap ramps. The contractor has indicated they're going to start on Monday with the work, so that work is starting to go.
And that letter went out too? Because I got it.
So from the borough and the contractor will also send out his own letter.
Okay. Any comments or anything, questions for our engineer? Anything else, Anton?
Patterson?
Oh, Patterson, sure.
Patterson,
Road.
the contractor, Patterson Road between Terrell and Hunter. The contractor started doing some work a couple weeks ago. With the rain last week, they got held up. They didn't send crews out because every day had a threat of rain, so he didn't want to work half days. But he's scheduled to be there tomorrow, which is going to rain, so I'm thinking Wednesday he'll be out there, and the weather's looking good for the next couple of weeks, so we should be on the road running with that job too.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to Councilman Hugo.
Thank you. The next two resolutions are our fire subcode official has left for other opportunities, so these two resolutions attempt to fill that void. First one I'll move is Resolution 18-09-162. It's appointing Raymond Calandria for plan review as a fire subcode
Is he
official.
new? Is this new?
Yes.
Second.
I need a roll call.
Russell Hugo?
Yes.
Jack Mullenor?
Yes.
Anthony Carter?
Yes.
Karen Van Barker?
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell?
Yes.
I'll vote yes too, what the heck.
Oh, Tom Cruise?
Motion passes.
Motion.
Oh, okay. Next resolution is, I'll move, is 18-09-163. This is appointing our current construction code official, Frank Stallone, to be the fire inspector for the borough.
Second.
You have a second, may I have a roll call, please?
Rusty Newman.
Yes.
Jack Mullenhour.
Yes.
Anthony Carter.
Yes.
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Mary Beth Barker.
Yes.
Catherine Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, so as we wind down tonight's meeting, we are just coming off of our big Fanwood Day Street Fair, which was yesterday, which by all accounts was, the weather was absolutely beautiful. There was tons of people out and about and getting to experience, I think, all the nice things that we have in here. Station Square at Fanwood, which is the new townhome development over by LeGrand Park, had a sort of an open house walkthrough of one of their units, and they reported a steady stream of people in all day and a very good responses. We have 35 townhomes there with 7 affordable units. For those who will be interested in putting their name into the lottery, when do we expect that? Where are we with that?
Mayor, I believe that that lottery will start to come into focus within the next month or so.
Okay, so we'll have more information?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, so anything else before we open the meeting to the public? Seeing that there isn't any, may I have a motion to open the meeting to the public? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the time I'd like to call forward any members of the public that, again, wish to make a comment, question, statement, share anything? Seeing that there isn't any, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night.